Verizon, and we're getting some new internet connectivity solutions in here. We were ranting and raving on Breece Hall, and I apologize for having the live stream cut out yet again. What I was trying to rant and rave about was that this man Breece Hall is worth a top. He's worth a top 15 overall pick if you look at upside alone. Like, that's where he should go. But nobody is taking him in even the top of the third round right now. So listen to me when I say Breece Hall should not be taken in round 2 if you don't need to take him in round 2. Breece Hall should be grabbed in round 3, preferably mid to late round 3. And for those of you saying, but Smitty, Michael Carter's there, Smitty, and I just don't know what to do. I'll tell you what to do, Bob. Michael Carter's the reason he's falling to round 3, but that's baked in and accounted for. The Jets maybe bringing Hall along slowly is a risk factor, a dynamic at play here, but that's why he's falling. Every concern that a Breece Hall doubter has out there is accounted for and baked in to his value. There's no excuse or there's nothing that should scare you. Breece Hall's on his way
to the moon.
To the moon without question, without equivocation, without hesitation. This man is on the moon.
To the moon.
As is Cameron, who turned 26 today. Happy birthday, Cameron. You didn't think I knew. I know all, Cameron. We're looking at a guy in Breece Hall that's camouflage. We're going to call him Camouflage Breece. Camouflage in the 3rd round, sometimes 4th. Sometimes 4th round. This guy's camouflaged as a 3rd or 4th round player because of the but Smitty to Michael Carter's there concern, because the Smitty the Jets and the Jets concerned. Those things have him camouflaged as if he doesn't warrant top 15 overall value. Breece Hall is Najee Harris. Najee Harris is Breece Hall. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. We are looking at people, very confused people, pushing Breece Hall down. I'm ranting, but I'm really celebrating. I look upset, but I'm actually happy. Because we can get Breece Hall where we shouldn't be able to get him. Everybody needs to understand that this gift cannot get overlooked. Everybody in here has an obligation and a responsibility to utilize this gift that is set in front of your feet. Yes, James, hit the thumbs up button, please. Everybody that doesn't take advantage of Breece Hall, highway robbery, falling into the mid-3rd to 4th round range, you are dropping the ball big time in 2022. And it's going to be only your fault, because I'm here yelling from the rooftops to tell you that Breece Hall has Najee Harris 2021 value. That Breece Hall, who's going in the 3rd to 4th round for some dumb reason right now that I love, has the potential to be Najee Harris 2021. Meaning he was laughed at when we took him at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We were laughed at. Laughed at. You guys are ridiculous. You're going to be sorry. Don't you remember Clyde? Don't you remember Clyde? It's exactly the same year after year. If Clyde busted, then that means all rookies must bust. Right, Smitty? Wrong, Bob. Now, I'm not telling any of you, please, don't go out there in our mock drafts upcoming, probably tonight. Don't go out there in the best ball drafts you should be doing at Underdog using promo code Smitty. go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, click on the Underdog banner, which is linked to promo code Smitty, or if you're at Underdog, use promo code Smitty, and play in these best ball drafts. $25 entries, 25 buckaroos gets you into a $10 million contest. $10 million in prizes. These are the prizes on Underdog. Unbelievable. $2 million to first place, $1 million to second place, 500,000, 200,000, 100,000, 75 all the way down. If you finish 301st to 400th, you get what, $3,700? Hey mom, meatloaf, ma. Hey ma, by the way, ma, I finished 400th place, ma.
Well, son, that sucks. 400th place? You're a moron. You're not getting any meatloaf.
But ma, 400th place gets you $1,000.
Well, shit, you didn't tell me that. My son's a genius.
Hey ma, I finished 199th place.
That's not very good.
Ma, 199th place gets you $37.50 on Underdog. We can pay for meatloaf for years.
That's my son. My son's a genius.
Do you not understand what we're dealing with here? The biggest best ball Mania 3 prizes galore right in front of your face. Your ma's gonna be proud of you. Make your mother proud. Make her proud. Don't you want your mother to be proud of you? Go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Click the Underdog Fantasy link. Okay, I'm going to drop the link in the chat as well and pin it right now, the live chat. Go there. Make your mother proud. Do it. Do it. Get in these best ball drafts with me because we want to have our community have one of these big, massive prizes. I mean, we're going to brag. Your mother's going to brag. Everybody's going to brag about you when you drop a big monster prize. Play Underdog. I'm pinning it now. Play Underdog. Use code Smitty. That is pinned in the chat right now. Make your mother proud. She's making meatloaf for you, for goodness sake. But my point is that, do I want you walking into one of these best ball drafts and be like, I'm going to take Breece Hall at number 15 because Smitty said he's the best? No. Use the ADP to your advantage. Use the pre-rank list. When you're sitting there and Breece Hall's the 15th running back, not overall, 15th running back, and you're on the clock, you better not take Breece Hall, or you will, my friend, be taking... No. When you're sitting there and Breece Hall's 10 running backs away and 20 overall players away, you wait. You wait like a shark. You attack like a monster. You grab this guy Breece Hall in your Underdog fantasy drafts using promo code Smitty, trying to win that $10 million piece of that $10 million, the $200 million or the $2 million bag. Anyway, Breece Hall rant is concluded. The live stream number 2 is fully underway. For all we know, the live stream is going to end again. I've got Verizon on the way. Verizon is coming to tell me what my options are. This is unbelievable. We need a new Wi-Fi setup here. We need new internet access because this stupid dropping once every 4 live streams, this has been like 2 or 3 days this week though, that it just cuts out. And it's not that it's bad service, it's interrupted service, which makes a live stream kick. Makes a live stream kick the can. You're in a live stream and there's interruption, it just ends. Unbelievable. We do some private drafts on Underdog, yeah, we do. We'll probably do an Underdog draft tonight. So if those of you that have not been involved in it, click the link now. I've pinned it in the chat. I pinned the link in the chat. If you want to do the Underdog best ball drafts tonight, make sure you click the link now. Make your $10 minimum deposit now. Use promo code Smitty. Get ready. You have to use promo code Smitty or the link I provided in the chat. Get ready now so that you don't have to, I don't know, like try and figure this out last second and miss a spot. Because sometimes we jump in, there's a couple other random people in the draft, and there's 7 spots available. It goes down to 6 really quick, 5, 4. And if you're not signed in and ready to go, and you've got to sign up, you're going to miss the draft. If you go, hold on, wait, Smitty, I haven't signed up yet. So anyway, better get a discount on your next bill, Smitty. I don't think they're giving me anything, bro. We're just going to have to leave and go to a new provider. Okay, so let's go through some of the news.
And now, for the news.
In the news today, we have David Johnson, who tried out for the Saints. He apparently didn't make it. Unfortunate, we couldn't come to terms, but appreciate the Saints for the opportunity. Journey to be continued. David Johnson, God, what a fall from grace, man. This guy was so good for a short period of time in Arizona. We sent him to Houston. He just fell off the face of the earth so quickly. David Johnson, he was so good. He was a top 4 overall player. Some would say number 1, you know. But running backs fall off like that. I talked about this on Twitter Spaces last night with a bunch of people, good people on Twitter, that the running back position in today's age, it's players are so abused. You can't get me to rant on Kenny Walker again, Kenny. I know you're trying to bait me. But running backs are so abused, and it starts from an earlier age now. Players hit harder. Players, in some cases, are bigger and stronger. Linemen are bigger, heavier, faster. And every carry you take, you have your knees and your body taking, thousands of pounds of force into the ground. Running backs just get abused. They end up getting completely annihilated. Oliver wants to know Breece Hall or Jalen Waddle in round 4. Breece Hall for me. I love Waddle, but Breece Hall for me. Breece Hall is an absolute steal. I've already done the rant, bro. I did the rant on the board. You can see it right there. On the board, very far away in the top right. But if you pass on Breece Hall in round 4.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
You have an obligation. An absolute obligation to take this man in round 4 if he's sitting there. Breece Hall.
To the moon.
DeAndre Swift.
To the moon.
Kenneth Walker.
To the moon.
Cameron,
to the moon.
Our 26-year-old B-Day boy. Cameron, baby. Cameron turned 26. Today is a day that Cameron's mother and father had a special night. They made Cameron 26 years ago to probably some nice, cool jazz, and Cameron was born on this day. Gibby or Hall? Give me Breece Hall, but I like Gibby. I like Gibby a lot, but give me Breece Hall. Where are we at here? So was Zeke, Smitty. So was Zeke what? What, bro, we're like 2 minutes away from that conversation. I have no idea what we're talking about. Please clarify. Please give me some clarification on that bad boy. So was Zeke good? Are you talking about David Johnson? When we're talking about David Johnson? Jets fantasy playoff schedule. To the moon, says Prime. Rondell Moore. I like Rondell Moore a lot, bro, but it's going to be hard to find consistency for him. Rashad White to the moon?
To the moon.
You can get me on that one every time, James. You can get me every time. Here's some fines. $100,000 to Mike McCarthy. Organized activities. Looks like these guys are playing too tough. They don't like it. They're fining McCarthy. And they're also fining... Well, what do you know? Ron Rivera gets fined $100K. Only fitting. Only fitting. Del Rio gets fined $100K. Ron Rivera should be fined $100K. There you go. Karma at work. It looks like the football team, the Commanders, and the Cowboys are practicing too tough. Jahan Dotson has reportedly looked electric in practice. That's great news for Washington Commander fans out there. Only problem is you've got, like the Dolphins have, a pea shooter delivering the football to the weapons and arsenal that you have. Gibson, McLaurin, Dotson. A lot of talent. A lot of talent. A lot of talent. Now you got Robinson in the backfield as well. You've got McKissick, who's a very, very underrated, unutilized weapon. They'll probably utilize him a lot, but I mean he's a beast. McKissick. I mean, you've got a lot of weapons, and you've got Carson Wentz, who has talent at least, but horrible decision making. And I think we're probably looking at a very disappointing quarterback showing overall for the Washington Commanding football team. For the Presidents. But I mean, Dotson looks like he's got good upside. If the Commanders just landed Russell Wilson, they'd be potential division winner, even over the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to have a good year. I'm not saying the Cowboys are a playoff, caliber team. Like they're the kind of team that's going to make the playoffs, have a great record, and then they could drop the ball during the season or during the postseason. And I'm not saying they can't turn that around either. I'm just saying that's kind of what we know of the Cowboys right now until they prove otherwise. They're going to ball out during the year. They're going to be one of the best offenses during the regular season. And then we'll see what the Cowboys can do once they get into the playoffs. But the Cowboys, I think, will win the division. This Washington football team was a Russell Wilson away from being a division winner. And I know they tried really, really hard. To get a quarterback. They called up and said, Hello? Yeah, Kansas City. We want to know, can Patrick Mahomes come out and play? No? You won't let him come play? Okay. Hi, yeah, is Tom Brady available? No? Okay, this is the Washington Commanding football team. Okay, thank you. Okay, so Mahomes, no. Hold on, let's go to the marker board. Mahomes? No. Brady? No, they won't let Brady come play. I know. Next up, Wentz. Hi, Indy. Is Carson Wentz available? Absolutely. Oh, you mean, yeah, he is, maybe? Okay. We'll take him. Couple ham sandwiches? Absolutely. Cold or hot? Yeah, buddies. Pea shooter. This guy's a pea shooter. I mean, he's got an arm. He's got some talent for sure. But it's not going to work out. It's probably not going to work out. Unfortunate. Hollywood Brown, I hear different rumblings from fan bases that are very much closer to the situation than fan bases that are not. And I have little birdies whispering in my ear that this may or may not happen. I'm hearing all different kinds of things on McLaurin. But the word is that they're trying very hard to get a deal done very, very soon. The other word is McLaurin wanting to do the deal. Is McLaurin wanting to even be in Washington? Now, ultimately, he doesn't have a lot of leverage. So let's say McLaurin's attitude is very defensive, and I don't know if I want to be here. What's his alternative? If they don't trade him, he could potentially, like Debo, be like, okay, I would like to have a trade. I would like to initiate a trade. Trade me. Request a trade. He could do that. But what's it going to do? I mean, they don't want to trade him. They've said they don't want to trade him. Now, Pete Carroll said this. Where's Pete Carroll? Where's Pete Carroll when you need him? Let's see. Where's Pete Carroll when you need him? Pete Carroll said this. Come on, Pete. Pete, you're holding up the show. Pete Carroll said, we're not trading Russell Wilson. We are not trading Russell Wilson. And what happened about a week later? They traded Russell Wilson. So let's not pretend that we live in an offseason where it's very predictable. Because at this point, we have no clue. I can't find the Pete Carroll image now. Damn it. So could McLaurin get traded? Absolutely. Hit the thumbs up button on your way in the door. Appreciate you. 85 of you in here. 85 of you in here. That's Cap Smitty. What's Cap Smitty? McLaurin to the Jags. I hope not. That would be, I mean, that's not a horrible place, but I would much rather, yeah, that'd be better. That'd be better than the Washington football team with Carson Wentz and everything. And that would be good for Dotson. Dotson would be able to really take off, and be the number one. But I think the best place for either DK or McLaurin, if they were able to force and initiate a trade, the best place would be the Chargers. Imagine DK Metcalf catching footballs from Justin Herbert. Imagine Terry McLaurin catching footballs from Justin Herbert. Now, I don't want the DK scenario to play out because I actually would rather DK, who could survive a little better than the average wide receiver with bad quarterback play because of his catch radius, because this man can literally, he's got a wingspan that can literally go from wall to wall, palms on my studio. Catch radius that allows him to catch a football if it's anywhere in this room. A ball could go anywhere in this room. DK Metcalf can catch it. DK Metcalf can grab anything. Every single pass in this room, his catch radius is through the roof. So DK Metcalf can better survive bad quarterback play and in turn help out Kenny Walker. I want Kenny Walker to have as much room to run as possible. I want defenses to be kept as honest as possible. And DK's a big component of that. DK stretches the field. DK can bring in a big name quarterback. If you don't have DK there, think about this. If you guys think, okay, we'll deal with this later. Trade DK and this can be rebuilt. No, because if you've got DK there, quarterbacks will want to come play football in Seattle. He'll be a nice little lure. He'll lure people in. Hit the like button, says David. Where were we? Will Smith, the like button. Hit the like button. What's up, Tanner? Appreciate you being here. Smitty kind of diesel. Okay, I think I like that. Dude, I'm so out of shape. You're gonna watch me get ripped and swole over the next couple weeks. We've got the pull-up bar right here, bro. Right now, I could probably only do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right now we can only do 8. Your boy Smitty is going to work real hard to get to 20. Give me some time. Give me some time to get there. This 19 blasted me. I was at 14, 12 to 14. The 19 took me out pretty hardcore. Took me hardcore out. I could have done 9. I needed you here to coach me, bro. I think I could have done 9 too. I regret it. I regret giving up. I regret it. Chucky says I did not do any full extensions. Chucky, turn on your webcam and show us your pull-ups, young man. Don't pass out, big dog. Don't worry. Fellow big dog, I'll be fine. Where are we at? More news to go over. Deshaun Watson. According to Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, he reports there's a divide that's intensifying in the league office over handling Deshaun Watson's potential suspension. I'm going to be out of breath for a couple minutes here. Doing 80 pull-ups. 80. Doing 8 pull-ups is tough. Chucky says he's 70 years old. Doesn't matter. You can't come in talking smack about my form, Chucky. And then use the old I'm 70-year-old line. The NFL is going to come down hardcore on Deshaun Watson. If anybody thinks this guy's playing week 1, they're out of their mind. Even in a world where this NFL decision-making is inconsistent and they literally can surprise us and they're not consistent with their decision-making, they could definitely say one thing about one player. They can suspend Calvin Ridley for a full entire year and come in with 26 pending civil cases against him with all kinds of crazy accusations and admissions from Deshaun that a lot of it went down just a different way in his perspective. But you have literally 26 pending cases, and who knows, the NFL could absolutely be like, yeah, we'll deal with this later. He can play week 1. I mean, it's possible, but I think that's like a 5% chance. I'm just saying it's possible. We live in a world where the NFL organization, Roger Goodell, definitely could surprise us. We live in that world. But this is intensifying, as this verbiage here suggests. It's getting worse every single day. It's unraveling more and more. Deshaun Watson's most likely going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably over 30 cases by the end of July pop up because you have over reportedly now 100 of these situations that Deshaun Watson created for himself. We have 66 situations that some people feel comfortable reporting is the number, but we've heard other reports that suggest that it could be not 66 but upwards of 100. And if 4 people have already come forward due to the HBO special, what do you think is going to happen in the next year? And there's a statute of limitations on being able to come forward that ends in March of 2023. That means that, let's say Deshaun Watson were to settle with all 26 cases tomorrow. He could have 10 new cases emerge the very next day. He could have 50 new cases emerge the very next day. And you've got to ask yourself this honest question. If Deshaun Watson settled with 26 individuals, and there's even 1 or 2 people out there that didn't come forward and they see these individuals get a $200,000 check each, do you think that those people aren't going to come forward? And innocent, guilty, doesn't matter. The NFL is going to react. And the NFL is going to react based on personal conduct policy, not based on innocence or guilt. The innocence or guilt part may never be something that we even are able to dig into because it's in civil. It's different. But if anybody thinks that the 4 new cases or any new cases that arise from the potential 66 to 100 situation, like, pool of people. If you think that criminal cases can't emerge, you aren't looking at the facts, because the bottom line is the DA will take a poke at each one of these four, pardon that pun, each one of these four individual situations and decide whether they need to move forward and look at criminal. Now, he's got to be indicted. It sounds to me, and I've heard people tell me, and I'm very close to a lot of people in this situation that are tied to people that are close to the situation. There's a lot of degrees of separation, admittedly. Like, no one knows anybody directly involved in the case, but I have a lot of connections over my 20 years, and a few degrees of separation. These people can relay information that sometimes is accurate, sometimes is not accurate. But what I'm hearing is that the reason Watson was not indicted, that the grand jury didn't move forward, was not because of presumed innocence or that there was no evidence at all. It was that it's going to be hard, even with the evidence that's there, that's clear evidence that wrongdoing took place. There would be at least enough doubt, because maybe not all of the evidence is completely airtight, that they didn't want to tie up this system and the money that would be involved, and how much time and pain and anguish would go into these cases if they predicted they probably would have a good likelihood of failing. And that does suggest there's some, it does suggest that, okay, the case isn't strong, and that's why it didn't go forward. So there is that side of it, if you want to say, like, and defend Deshaun Watson and say, well, the case was so weak they didn't want to move forward with it. That's true, but it isn't because there wasn't evidence. The Houston Police Department reportedly has, according to some reports, evidence of wrongdoing, evidence that crimes were committed, and that's what the DA and the criminal stuff was looking at. But is it airtight? Is it good enough to actually convict? Apparently not, and that's why those cases, those particular 10 to 11 cases, did not move forward, and he was not indicted. But the four new cases have different evidence. Every single situation will naturally have different evidence, and every single situation is a different case. Deshaun Watson, I predict, doesn't play 2022, and I predict the league does some sort of paid leave indefinitely, and the indefinite leave, the indefinite suspension protects the NFL. The paid leave protects Watson, in a sense, saying, hey, there is some responsibility that we, the NFL, have to not condemn this man when he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and therefore we're going to put him on paid leave, because there's no way the NFL, and let's be honest, as much as some people want to say, look, I've made my determination about Watson, if you have or not. I'm not saying I have. I'm saying if you feel you've made your determination about Watson, you still need to be able to say we should live in a world where you're innocent until proven guilty. And the best step that the NFL can take to protect the NFL, the integrity of the NFL, because he did violate personal conduct policy. Let's stop pretending that Deshaun Watson's setting up maybe 60 to 100 situations where random people have been targeted. Random people have been targeted. If you don't think Watson targeted these individuals, you are blind to the fact that he actually went after individuals that needed money, that the amount of money he's giving them for a random massage was so good that it was an important amount of money to them. Unlike a business that operates for Houston to give massages to athletes that makes millions of dollars a year, they're not going to look at what Deshaun Watson was offering money-wise as an influential factor in not saying anything or moving forward with an uncomfortable situation. He targeted, whether he's innocent or guilty, he still targeted certain individuals that may or may not have been starstruck, needed money, and would be more likely to not say anything in an uncomfortable situation. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. But that is the case. That he went after individuals in those situations. Now, whether he did anything like attacked or forced or whatever, that is what the court will decide. If it was to go down the criminal track or in the civil case, they'll decide that the burden of proof is different. The whole thing's different. Civil is completely different than criminal. But if he was to go to criminal with, let's say, that one of the 4 new cases, because the DA will look at it, then we'll find out, what's what. But to say he didn't target individuals is crazy. That's we already know that's true. To say that he didn't do a lot of these things, but from a consensual perspective from his angle, we already know. He's admitted that. He's admitted that multiple people have cried leaving his massage. Multiple people have cried leaving his massage. I mean, look, I want to defend innocence until proven guilty. But we have to acknowledge certain things that the NFL is going to step in and say, look, paid leave, come back when it's all finished, but you cannot be here. You cannot be on the field. And the Cleveland Browns have verbiage, according to Pro Football Talk, that can void this deal. How hard it's going to be to void it, court. Good luck getting the $46 million you already gave to Deshaun Watson. Good luck getting that back. But the Browns will attempt to recoup their money and void the deal if he's suspended for any reason relating to the 4 new cases. Deshaun Watson, in my opinion, is done for 2022, potentially done for the rest of his career. He will be suspended indefinitely, with or without pay, probably with pay at first. They'll probably take a look at it again. But he's done for 2022. The NFL is hypocritical? Absolutely, McFact. But it doesn't, I mean, that's the thing is, I think a lot of people that defend Deshaun Watson, and I believe you are a defender of Deshaun Watson, and I appreciate you being in here defending, liberty, freedom, innocent till proven guilty. Like, I get all that. I respect it. But I think there's a way to see both sides here. There's a way to be like innocent till proven guilty, yes, but wrongdoing, absolutely. Putting the league in a very bad spot, 100%. Baker Mayfield, CBS Sports is reporting that the Panthers are still doing due diligence in terms of looking into Baker Mayfield, a football player, and the person. They want to make sure they're bringing in a good dude. Brian Barnes says, am I in the Cooper Cup League? Are you one of the individuals that hasn't responded, Brian? Let me check. I don't see you in the Cooper Cup League, Brian. Did you want to be in the Cooper Cup League? We may actually have one opening. I'm not positive. I think we do, Brian. So if you want in, drop a $20 super chat. First person to drop a $20 super chat will get in. I appreciate you looking at both sides there, McFact, and I'm glad you're a new subscriber. I appreciate you. I've seen you in here for a little bit. So in a way though, Brian, in a way though, McFact, you almost need to take a baby lap for not subscribing the first time you came in.
Take a lap.
But
take a lap.
Very
Take a
glad
lap.
to
Take
have
a
you
lap.
here now. Andrew, the league hasn't done anything yet. Let's go to the voicemails.
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
He'll punch you in the throat.
Jim.
Seems to be a lot of great value at wide receiver between rounds 4, 5, and 6. And 2 of the wide receivers that I really like that I'm trying to decide between is Michael Pittman and Mike Williams. Between those 2 guys, who do you like best this year in redraft?
Mike Will and Mike Will and versus Pittman. already sent a super chat to me. Okay, Brian, send me your email address right now, and I'll put you in that spot. Okay, DM me real quick. And if you've already DM'd me, give me a bump. Give it a bump. Pretty Richie. Thank you for dropping that. Pretty Richie, I think we may have another spot. It's already drafted, but you'll be able to jump into that spot if the person doesn't respond. So Pretty Richie, DM me on Instagram right now. Mike Williams versus Pittman. I really believe that this is going to create a little controversy here, but I'm going to go Mike Williams. I know a lot of you think Pittman's a 4th round player. I don't. I'm uncomfortable drafting Pittman in round 5, and yet many of you are taking him in round 4. So we see Pittman and his situation a little bit differently. It doesn't mean I don't think he has upside. It doesn't mean I don't think Pittman could become an absolute monster. We're going to go way over today's show. I'm going to turn off the timer because we're going to go way over the show time today. We're not ending. We're staying. We're staying.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. We're staying. Pittman's got potential. Pittman's got a quarterback. He could be a high-end wide receiver, too. I like him a lot. I think Alec Pierce is the number 1 wide receiver there by week 10. It's going to take Alec Pierce a lot of time to climb up. Pretty Richie, again, appreciate you. DM me right now, pal. Look at Pretty Richie dropping a 20. And he says, you are amazing. You're amazing, Pretty Richie. Verizon to the moon. Let's hope so.
To the moon.
Let's hope so, because we're this internet connection's been pissing us off. Pierce to the moon.
To the moon.
Love Pierce. Mike Williams was a number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football for how many weeks straight? Because there was a time where everyone was saying this guy was a top 6 to 10 wide receiver. And it was a string of games in the beginning of the year. Let's take a look at it. Mike Williams. Let's pull up his game log from last year and see what Mikey boy was up to. Mike Williams. Los Angeles Chargers game log. Look at this bad boy's game log through how many weeks? I mean, he was dropping serious loadage all over the field to start the year off. He took a big dip. Let me put his whole game log up so we can really grasp the decline as well. Let's be fair and look at Mike Williams' entire season. Where did that? I just screenshotted it. Where did it go? Download. Oh, that's why. Okay, here's Mike Williams' game log. Week 1, 12 targets, 82 and 1 touchdown. Week 2, 10 targets, 7 catches, 91 yards and a touchdown. Week 3, 9 targets, 7 catches, 122 and 2 touchdowns. Week 4, 1 catch for 11 yards. Week 5, 8 catches for 165, 2 touchdowns and 16 targets. Then he had a 27-yard game, then a bye week, and then a complete kind of drop. Well, not a complete drop off. He still had 97 yards and a touchdown in week 11, 110 in week 13, 119 and a touchdown in week 18. The week before that, week 17, 63 and a touch. I mean, it's still a good year. That's still a really good year. You know, he dropped off in terms of those touchdowns, but look at that start, weeks 1 through 5, even with the 11-yard game. The question I have for people is, what makes you think he can't do it again? You know, I know he's been inconsistent. I know he's hard to trust. But if anybody's got the quarterback play and at least a track record showing it's capable, it's Mike Williams. Like, Mike Williams is probably he did get hurt too. Andrew made a good point. That's probably why some of the decline happened. But Mike Williams is probably the most undervalued wide receiver in fantasy football 2022 that falls to a certain, like, deep part of the draft. You know, like what's his ADP? His ADP is probably around, let me see if I can find consensus data on him. Mike Williams is going on average, according to consensus data, around wide receiver 20 and about 50 overall. So 50 overall puts him at 4th round range. That can't be right. It's got to be round 5. I don't think he's going around 4. That data is a little funky. I'm going to go ahead and say okay, Brian, stand by. I'm going to give you details after the show, okay? So check your DM after the show, and I'll definitely hit you back, okay? Appreciate you. You're probably going to get, let me tell you who you're going to get, what player you're going to get, because you're going to be in a spot that might have already, I'm sorry that fell through the cracks somehow. But you're going to get, oh no, you're still going to be on the clock for the first time at pick 87. So you won't have drafted yet. So you'll be good, bro. You'll be good. You're in pick 87. 87 is technically like, I don't know, what's 80? So 87 divided by 8 copies of every player, that puts you at 10.8. You'll be drafting at 10. So that's good. That's a great spot. That's probably one of the better spots. 10, 11, 12, love those spots. So I'll DM you right after. Ultimately, I don't trust Pittman, bro. I trust Mike Williams a little more because he's done it, and he is the best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, in Justin Herbert. Him and Josh Allen and Burrow, they're all really close, but I'm going to say Herbert's the NFL MVP this year. I'm going to say Herbert's the division winner in the AFC West. I'm going to say Herbert and the Chargers make it to the Super Bowl. Whether they win or not, we'll address that later. But this boy, Herbert, is going to be tossing the rock to somebody. And Keenan Allen isn't exactly, I don't know, guaranteed to stay healthy. So give me Mike Williams. Great question. Great question. Bruce.
Hey, Smitty, is it okay to, injury plagued, I guess, I assume, players? Or is that wrong to like an injury player? I like Tunyon this year, but he's got hurt a lot.
Injured players. It's case by case, Bruce. There's no, of course you don't go after a player that has a proneness to injury. In my opinion, Saquon Barkley is going to be very injury prone. In my estimation, Mike Thomas is a very, very injury prone player. In my opinion, Christian McCaffrey is now borderline. I say borderline because you could make an argument that his injuries were injuries that might not be the worst injuries in the world. They just happened to take him out. They weren't like injuries that felt like any one of them was a repetitive situation. Like Dalvin Cook's injury prone. Dalvin Cook has a torn labrum. We've gone through this over and over on the show. Dalvin Cook, if this is your labrum and this is your ball and socket, right? So your labrum is kept inside. Your labrum keeps this ball inside the socket. This is a kind of a poor but good example because it gets the point across. Without the labrum, this is the seal, this ball would slide right out of the socket. Like that. It would just come right out. But this labrum is keeping it inside the socket. Dalvin Cook has ripped this out, and there's all kinds of damage to the point where this could come out who knows how many different ways, meaning you have your labrum torn here, so if this ball gets rotated this way, it's got a clear path out because of that tear. He might have, we don't know, we're guessing, Dalvin Cook might have tears all over his labrum. And he's very injury prone. One huge hit, and Dalvin Cook, that ball comes right out of that socket. In general, bro, no, stay away from injury prone players. If they're injury prone, that means they're gonna likely get hurt. If somebody's had an injury, let's say you feel that ETN had an injury, but ETN's not going to be injury prone, then drafting a player coming off injury, I'm okay with, but it's case by case. ETN, there's risk, but I love him, and I'm all in. Derrick Henry, I'm very cautious to go near him because his value is so high and his mileage is screaming. I will never, ever, ever be the same. That's what his mileage is telling us. His workouts, how big the man is, it influences people. It makes you want to ignore all that. I get it. I understand it. In some ways, I feel the same way. Like in a certain draft slot, like 10, I might take Derrick Henry. Like, I'll take Derrick Henry in one league. I've admitted that, in case I'm wrong. But logic tells you, mathematics, the historical data, science, as Jesse Pinkman would say, all of it tells you that his 400 plus carry season that was a 2,000 yard season is going to make him break. And he broke. He broke. You could call it freak. You could say it was a foot injury. No, you can't predict that. You could say he looks amazing running up a hill right now. He's got chains around his neck and he's doing massive things. He did a lot of those things last year and he broke. So stay away from injury prone players. Don't stay away from injuries. It's case by case. Good question.
Hey, Smitty Silver, where do you rank Kyler Murray now about the news about him being in camp, being in OTAs, and then talking about getting a contract extension going on? You got him top 5 QB or top 6, 7? Where you got Kyler slated in at?
Kyler, it's a good question. Kyler Murray, if I had to like pinpoint a ranking for Kyler, like let's get out the rank. Let's do a rank. 1, Herbert. 2 is going to be Allen. 3, Burrow. And you really could argue any of those 3 being number 1. I don't really need to like debate it. Mahomes is probably still 4, even though he's lost his top weapon in Tyreek Hill. He's still got Kelsey. He's still got a bunch of weapons. He's still an amazing quarterback. And I'm not one that's going to take him out of my top 4. I'm going to drop him down to the bottom of the tier, which is tier 1. And tier 1 is capable. Any one of those quarterbacks is capable of being number 1. I think this is where number 5, where Kyler could live, where Trey Lance could jump up and surprise the world. Lamar Jackson could live here. Jalen Hurts could come up and be the number 4 or number 5. Tom Brady could return for one more big monster year. I don't think Aaron Rodgers will breach this area. So here's the ranking. Sorry, I didn't put it on the screen yet. This is what it looks like to me when I'm breaking it down. Herbert, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, and then literally you could argue Lamar, Kyler, Hurts, Brady, Dak, if you wanted to. Russell Wilson could be that high. You could argue Aaron Rodgers, but I won't. I think Trey Lance could flirt with 5 to 7. So Kyler's definitely in the mix for fantasy football wise 5 to 10. Now, he's been creating a perfect storm, a black cloud over his situation all offseason. It makes him a little risky, but he is coming back around. And as I've always said, I've ripped on Kyler over and over. I've called him Juice Box Kyler Murray, creating a black cloud over his head. His season could be very, very much one of disappointment because of a self-made situation. I've said that over and over. But I've also said at the end of every single one of those rants, he could come around if he puts his head down, shows up, shows leadership. They got him Hollywood Brown. If he plays happy and he doesn't play with this, grudge and upset attitude, and everybody's out to get him, and he's by himself. He's not a teammate. He's the guy. Everybody else is playing around him. It's his world. Everybody revolves around him. Like, if that's how he attacks it, he's going to have a horrible year. But if he comes in and does what he's been doing, Silver, which he has been doing, keeping his head down, playing, going through the motions, then I think he could return to top 5 to 10 form. So right around 5, 6, 7. Right around 5, 6, 7. Tariq.
Hey, Smitty, happy Friday to you and happy Friday to everyone in the chat. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm not sure if you got to this question or if this question got buried in the messages the last couple of days in the voicemail chat, but I'll ask it again. Being that Kyler Murray is potentially going to get the bag, if and when he gets paid, is he going to set the quarterback market? And if so, how is it looking for Lamar Jackson into getting the bag? And how much do you think he might get to set the bag or set the mark? Thanks, Bob.
I think Kyler Murray definitely could set the market. I think he definitely could become like the highest paid per year or something like that, but then not get the biggest amount. Like, it's tough to know. There's two different components: guaranteed money, total contract. Three different: total contract, guaranteed money, and then per year. I think he'll flirt with the top spot in one of those categories, but maybe not both. He certainly will get, I think, what he wants. He'll be plenty happy with what they offer him. I think he's been in such a rut, and he's been in such a, like, I'm not going to get paid, I'm not going to get the money, that he'll accept whatever they end up offering him at the end of the day. He's not going to walk away. He might negotiate a little bit, try and play tough to get, to exceed certain numbers and be the highest paid across two categories of those three. But it's tough to know what the deal is going to really look like. I think per year he's going to flirt with the top 1 to 4 overall quarterback salaries. Do I think he'll be number one and set the entire market? Maybe not. I don't know if the Cardinals are willing to pay him that much. They could, but we'll have to see. And Lamar doesn't want to be signed right now. He could change his tune, just like the Cardinals said they don't want to sign Kyler, and now they do. Who knows? Everybody says something different every other day. And a lot of it's posturing. A lot of it's smoke to try and initiate talks and get a deal. But Lamar basically has made it very clear that he doesn't want to sign a long-term deal yet. He would rather play out his fifth-year option than get franchise tagged potentially multiple times, because Lamar isn't, in my opinion, certain he wants to stay in Baltimore. He kind of wants to. He was asked a question yesterday, do you want to stay in Baltimore? And he said, yeah. He's basically said, yeah, I do. I think I want to stay here. Yeah, I see it, So he clearly answered that question, but what are you going to say? No. Lamar had his number one wide receiver traded away, and he wasn't exactly happy about that. Lamar Jackson has not been pleased with certain things that the organization has done here and there. And while they built the defense well, they had a good draft, I think it depends on how he feels the offense is going to develop. If he's going to get the weapons he needs, are they going to go after a bigger name wide receiver for him later? I know some of you love Bateman. I'm not sold on Bateman yet. So Lamar's holding off and wants to potentially be franchise tagged not 1, but maybe 2 years before he signs a big deal. I think he changes his mind next offseason. I think once his body goes through another year, and if he gets hurt at all because he's a running quarterback, he's going to understand that he's playing with fire. If you're going to literally try and play this year, franchise tag, in 4 years from now, sign your big deal to try and get the $350 million bag instead of the $250. I mean, I don't know. If I'm a running quarterback and I'm Lamar Jackson and I'm struggling to stay healthy, each season, and I'm running 150 to 180 times a season, you better sign that guaranteed deal while you have it, because he could have a career-ending injury and miss out on over $250 million, or whatever the case may be. He could probably sign a $400-something million deal stretched out over many years and make it around $49 to $50 million a year. $49 to $50 million a year stretched out. And like Mahomes is like $500 million deal. It's over like 10 or 11 years, right? So depending on how many years they can get him to commit to, they can stretch that deal out to a massive amount. But ultimately what comes down to is the guarantee money and the per year. Per year, he's looking at $47 to $50 million right now. It's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. He better be smart about it.
Hey, Smitty. So what I was asking yesterday is the Bengals play 14 games against top 12 passing defenses.
Thank you, Kenny.
Kind of worried for Burrows and Chase and Higgins.
Sorry, Kenny.
I know they're talented as heck, but that's a pretty tough task.
I missed the ending of that because I was reading that. I'm sorry.
14 games against top 12 passing defenses. Kind of worried for Burrows and Chase and Higgins. I know they're talented as heck, but that's a pretty tough task.
Defenses change from year to year. I think sometimes, tough matchups allow for more passing. There's so many dynamics at play there. Sometimes, when you're potentially down or it's a shootout, it's great. It's great. So I don't know that I worry too much about that. I think Burrow is gonna ball. I think defenses change from year to year. The Bengals' offensive line's gonna improve. So Burrow to me is not a concern schedule-wise. Don't even worry about it. Like, would I maybe make it influence me to go Herbert or Josh Allen over Burrow? Yeah, it could push me over the edge there, I suppose. Like, if I'm teeter-tottering and I'm looking at data and that stands out at the time, like, it could certainly be like a nudge. But no, I'm not worried about schedule for Joe Burrow. Kenny, sorry about this, missing your super chat. Happy Father's Day weekend, Smitty. You're a beast. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, Kenny, and I appreciate your super chats. I appreciate your support. Kenny's an OG in here. Many OGs in here. You guys are all awesome. Pretty Richie, again, appreciate you. Let me see if Pretty Richie DM'd me. Pretty Richie. Okay, I got your DM, Richie. I'm gonna send you in to that spot, and then make sure you accept the invite, bookmark it, check your junk mail. I'll do it after the show, though. Next voicemail. We are going to voicemail group 2 now. Asher.
Hey, Smitty, what do you think the 49ers offense is going to look like this year without Mike McCaffrey, whatever his name is? I was wondering if if you were targeting Ayuk, Samuel, or any of their running backs. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Where is he working right now? Can anybody decipher? Oh, yeah, coffee. You're doing coffee. Because it's Asher. I don't know. I forgot it was Asher. Asher's making some. What are you making of? Let's see what he's making.
Hey, Smitty, what do you think the 49ers, Samuel, or any of their running backs? Let me know.
Is that food, Asher? Or is that an espresso machine? I think Trey Lance is going to absolutely ball. I think the loss at McDaniel is going to be felt, but at the same time, McDaniel was brought up inside this coaching tree. I think McDaniel is going to do really well in Miami, given what he has. I think he's limiting himself with Tua. But, I mean, goodness gracious, bro. Like the Niners have the weapons. The Niners have the upside. The Niners have the defense. The Niners have the wide receivers. Ayuk's going to have a really good year. They could potentially have 2,000-yard receivers in San Fran. And I know they run the ball. They're a run-heavy team, but Trey Lance is different. Trey Lance is going to allow them opportunity to open up the offense and stretch the field. And it wouldn't shock me, especially with the extra game, if the Niners had 2,000-yard receivers. So I feel like Lance will probably have a top 5 to 7 fantasy football quarterback season in 2022. He could run for 600-700 yards and 7 to 8 touchdowns. He's going to throw for over 30 scores. This is going to put him at a potential like 37 to 40 touchdown season, because if he runs for 7 or 8, throws for 30, you're looking at least 36 to 38 touchdowns minimum for Trey Lance if he's on the field, staying healthy and doing his thing. Adam M. traded Devontae Smith and Gesicki for Garrett Wilson, Hunter Henry, and a 2024 first in Dynasty. Devontae Smith and Gesicki for Garrett Wilson, Hunter Henry. I mean, yeah, I love that. Garrett Wilson in the first round pick alone. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't like Hunter Henry, but hopefully you have another tight end option or you can pick somebody up. But, bro, that's amazing. Nice job. Adam, dropping fire. Andy.
Hey, Smitty. Curious about your thoughts about Kadarius Toney. I mean, he's really talented. I know he's wild and crazy, but looks like you can get him pretty late now in a lot of leagues. So, are you gonna take a shot on Kadarius in a few leagues this year?
Kadarius Toney, yeah, a little bit of a head case as you mentioned, but definitely got potential. I mean, he's the number one wide receiver talent-wise on the roster, so naturally, I'm gonna gravitate toward him at a certain point, line in the sand where he falls. If he falls into the wide receiver 4 range for me, 4-5, I'll take him. But am I expecting anything? No, I'm not. Colin thinks that I need to be perfect. Colin, I don't blame you for expecting perfection out of me. But 2 years ago, you talked up Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Good God, this man missed something. Smitty, take a lap. Colin, I'm gonna miss stuff. Let me set the expectation now. Colin, I'm gonna miss some stuff. I put out over 400 videos a year minimum. 400 podcasts a year, 400 video podcasts, 400 YouTube shows. I put out a lot of content. If you think I'm going to be 100% accurate, Colin, not to mention everybody in the world missed on Clyde, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Now it's Javonte, beware. Oh my God, he's got another prediction. Beware.
Smitty, you were wrong. 2 years ago, you were wrong. 2 years ago, you were wrong. What makes you think you can ever say anything ever again?
Colin, I still appreciate you. Colin. Colin!
To the moon.
Where are we at? Andy, did we get it, Andy's? Andy?
Hey, Smitty. Curious about your thoughts about Kadarius Toney.
Oh, Kadarius Toney. Okay. We got it. Let's go to the phone lines. See, that's, you know what? I think Colin and I just became best friends. Taking one now, thanks, bud. Look at that. I could have came in and been mean to Colin, but we just became best friends over that. Macho Taco, Javonte between picks 10 and 18 seems fine. You're darn right it seems fine. Javonte is an absolute stud. You're right, Jeremy is an absolute stud. Smitty predicted Victor Cruz and Arian Foster. You know, Chucky, you're showing how old we are, bro. Bro, let me just say this. Not to pat myself on the back, but these two calls, Chucky, were out of nowhere. I went on NBC Sports Radio at the time and dropped that Arian Foster prediction when he was literally a 7th round pick coming out of that his rookie years, unrestricted free agent year. And I was like, this guy's a top 5 running back. And it was absolutely crapped on, bro. Arian Foster, no one saw him coming. Nobody saw him coming. And Victor Cruz, no one knew who he was. He was on my top. Remember I came out and said, it was like a couple weeks before the season maybe or something like that, if I remember correctly. It was a while ago. Like, Victor Cruz is going to be a top 10 wide receiver. And everyone's like, who? Who? That was funny. So, Colin, you win some, you lose some, Colin. Thoughts about Sky Moore and Dynasty. I like him, Adam, but I like Justin Ross more. And you pay a lot less for him. So, like, draft capital-wise, of course I'm not drafting, Justin Ross anywhere near Sky Moore. I'm taking Sky Moore. And the odds are in favor of Sky Moore. But I like Justin Ross, man. If he can stay healthy, and there's talk about, maybe he won't, maybe he will. Took Russell Wilson because that was another one where no one saw it coming, bro. We just out of nowhere, like Russell Wilson's gonna be a top 5 to 10 quarterback, and he wasn't even starting yet. Smitty, I drafted Justin Ross too. Attaboy, Adam. Good job, buddy. Melvin Gordon said he wants the starting job. That's right. He did say that. I also would like to be a professional basketball player. Kirk or Gage? Give me Gage. Russell Gage is going to have a season. We won't do a moon call, but we're going to say that he's going to get lambed.
Get lambed.
Definitely love Russell Gage. Okay, let's go to the phone calls.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL. Dong.
Let's roll. Phone lines are open. Dial into the show. The last topic was Eli Mitchell. We don't talk about that now. So dial in and let's discuss. Until then, do some pull-ups. You do some pull-ups, Chucky. I appreciate you though, Chuck. Okay, Chuck, you're starting to make me look really old here. Michael the Burner Turner, that was an amazing call. But Chucky, you remember I called him a year early? I said Michael the Burner Turner will be a top 5 running back, and then he was going to get traded. I think it was to Tennessee, if I remember correctly. He was going to get traded, and he didn't get traded. And then it was like another year. I had to wait, and then he turned out to be an absolute monster. But yeah, stop making me look old, bro. Smitty, who do you like at the 1.2 in Dynasty non-Superflex? JT's going 1. I'd probably say either Najee or Chase or Jefferson. One of those 3, and it could go in any direction. Kind of depends on if you think you can get running backs later. Smitty, I have Kenny Walker, Javonte Williams, DeAndre Swift as my running backs. What do you think? I think you taking advantage of your grandma in some 4-man league, bro. Fantastic. Love them. Love them. Excited about that crew. Colin says, since we're best friends now, I need help on my 2 keepers. Kelsey, A.J. Brown, Metcalf, or McLaurin. I lean away from Kelsey because then you don't have future keeper value unless there's something I don't understand to your keeper rules. But I think you're running the risk of wishing you had picked one of the other players later. So I kind of feel like A.J. Brown and Metcalf. Although, I mean, look, you have 4 options right here. It's possible that you end up drafting a Kenny Walker and you end up getting an ETN, and then you have more than enough options for the next year. So player-wise, value-wise, maybe Kelsey is a great keeper option for you if you firmly believe, like year after year, you have handfuls and plethora of options that make it to where you don't have to really worry too much about whether you keep Kelsey and lose A.J. Brown. You're going to have other guys that you can keep. And if there's no round attachments or auction dollar attachments or decreasing rounds where you drafted them that I need to consider, because that's a big component of a keeper league sometimes. I mean, you're not crazy to go A.J. Brown and Kelsey and just say, I'm taking the best 2. I'm going to draft ETN. I'm going to draft a Walker. And I will have amazing options next year that don't even need to concern Kelsey. You know what I mean? Like maybe A.J. Brown and Metcalf. If you were to, that's where my initial gut instinct was. A.J. Brown and Metcalf, they have the most keeper value. I love McLaurin, but you can draft him. You can draft him back a lot easier than you can draft back A.J. Brown and Metcalf. So you can get McLaurin still if you wanted. But my initial reaction was going to be A.J. Brown and Metcalf because they have the most keeper value as well. But if you're going to have ETN, you're going to have Walker, you're going to have guys to replace one of those. I would think about Kelsey. But it's not for sure. I mean, I could go either way, Colin, to be honest. What's up? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
You're talking to Chucky Charles.
Chucky! Maybe. What's up, Chucky?
You said call in the show?
Yeah, watch your language, number 1. And number 2, what can I do for you?
Hey, I guess I got a tape delay here, Smitty.
Yeah, no problem. I was just saying, watch your language and let me know what I can do for you, Chucky.
I wanted to put a voice with a face.
Okay.
Well, you still haven't seen the face.
Yeah, but Chucky, give me a...
By the way, Smitty, I can't do any pull-ups, so...
Yeah,
I got no room to talk.
I know you're just having fun, but give me a bold prediction, Chucky. Give me a bold prediction. Give me your best bold prediction.
My bold prediction: I'm going to destroy one of my leagues this year.
Yeah, we know that, but give me a player prediction.
A player prediction, man. Alec Pierce. I'm going to try and get him. I got him in one league. I'm going to try and get him in another. I think I agree with you. I think he will be the number one in Indianapolis.
I think he could be, it might be like mid-season, because it's going to take him a little bit of time. But
yeah, no, not right away. But
like Pittman's good, but
he's got crazy mad ability.
Yeah, but Pittman's good. But why is everybody like? It's weird. Like I feel like Bateman and Pittman are the same player. Like if you like Bateman, you love Pittman. If you like Pittman, you love Bateman. But like Bateman and Pittman are both players that the opportunity is more so the reason people love them. I think.
By the way, Smitty, people need to know how long you've been predicting the rise of players. Arian Foster, Michael DeBerno Turner, Victor Cruz. You predicted all of those a long time ago, and you've been doing it for a long time. So if you miss on one or two, okay. Like you said, not everybody is going to be right all the time, but you've been doing it for a crazy, mad, long period of time, bub.
I appreciate that, Chucky. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't care. Like, look, you kind of feel like you might have somebody that's a little upset at you. Like, look at Colin, and now Colin and I are best friends. So it's fine. I understand. I understand that people, like, especially if they come onto the show for the first time, like this year, they're going to be, or last year, like, they're going to be like, well, what's this guy, what's he proven or whatever. Like, when I get on Instagram, you'll see people that are like, I'm the best Instagram, like in their profile, they'll say, I'm the best and number one fantasy football predictor. Like, people just claim all this stuff. Like, at least I have a track record that you can date back to literally the early 2000s on radio. Did radio for 19 years straight, dropping the bold predictions and doing all that. And I'm not going to get everything right, but you do bold predictions, you're going to swing and miss big on some stuff because you're doing bold stuff. I'm not, like, I feel like I don't want to say invented bold predictions in fantasy football, but you could certainly say there's probably no evidence of people dropping them before I did, and I coined them as bold predictions. And people gravitated toward it from the content perspective and the radio perspective. I didn't do video back then because they're tired of just like looking at just cookie cutter stuff. So when I come out and I say, look, I'm not just swinging for the fences, throwing mud at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like there's a definite process to it. I go to the mountains, Chucky. I wear a robe. I go up to the top of the mountain and I wait for the bold predictions to be sent to me. And then I come back down.
See the robe.
Yeah, the robe. I need to get a robe. I'm going to order a robe. I think I need to do a show in a robe.
Hey, when are we going to see the guys coming up out of the water like we used to?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
You mean walk on water?
Sleep for You commercial?
Oh, I have that right here. Are you watching right now?
Am I walking? No,
No, are you watching?
I'm sitting in my chair.
Okay, well, rewatch the replay. At 1 hour and 18 minutes in, I'm going to hit the button, okay?
You are off for sex. You are made off for sex.
There you go. That's what Chucky's talking about.
There we go.
Old school. Chucky, they like your laugh. They like your laugh. It's part. They say it's goated. Your laugh is goated.
There we go.
All right.
Smitty, I don't want to tie up all your time, but I sure enjoy talking to you. I'll call in a little more often.
Yeah, call in more. Call in whenever you want. We do a phone show, phone segment at least like every other show, but I'm gonna try and do it every show. This is becoming an hour and a half show.
Actually got lucky. Tonight was supposed to be date night, and I wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But my wife had something else to do, and so date night's canceled and pushed off till tomorrow. So that's why I got to tune in tonight.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you called in, Chuck.
Thanks, Smitty.
All right, leave all the little the 20-year-olds and the teeny boppers alone on the Discord. All right, they're not they can't handle your aggression. So just stay in your lane.
Well, my gosh, it's like if you're gonna cuss, at least be inventive and choose some other words to say the same thing. And You don't have to print the F-bomb.
Hey, Chuck, I gotta go. We just got a $200 super chat. We gotta applause this man right here.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, Chuck. Richie wants to become the top super chatter in a single live stream. This man, Richie.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy. Richie is going in the top corner of the show for the remainder of the year. Or is someone gonna knock? That would suck if someone knocked him off right now. If that happened, I'd put Richie and whoever knocked him off up there for a while. I couldn't do that to Richie. But Michael K. Hey, can we give Michael K. CPA a round of applause for being number one for weeks and weeks? Michael K. CPA.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Michael K. CPA. You have been goated. You have been Smitty.
You've just been Smitty approved.
We appreciate you, Michael K. CPA. And now we are going to make the change. $200 to Richie Rich. Where is that super chat? Pretty Richie Rich. What am I talking about? Pretty Richie. Richie Rich. Pretty Richie is now.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Pretty Richie is now at the top corner of every single Monday through Friday 7 p.m. show. Richie, if I ever forget to put it up, remind me. Just say, Smitty, put up my banner, bro. Until someone knocks you off, you are the single highest live stream super chatter of the year. Beast. Chucky wants you to call in, Richie. Stronger Wi-Fi incoming. Yeah, let's get on the phone. Hey, Verizon, send on over Bob. We're ready to set it up. $200 setup fee? No problem. I'll send Richie your way. Okay. Appreciate you, Richie. I'm going to put Richie in the corner here. Richie's the man. All right, where were we? Stronger Wi-Fi incoming. Phone calls. Yeah, dial in. Let's go. 10 years of mashed potatoes, says Prime. Richie Rich. I don't know why I called him Rich. What's Richie Rich? Is that what was that from again? Richie Rich. Is that the cartoon? Richie Rich. What was that? Yeah, it's like a cartoon, wasn't it? Or was it a TV show? Richie Rich? I forget. Anyway, phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL. Dong.
Yeah, it was a cartoon. Now Smitty can afford a new Wi-Fi service. Look, let's be honest, it's not about being able to necessarily afford it. It's about you're a victim to whoever your service providers are. Like, you can want a better service provider all you want, but if there's only two options in your area, you got to roll with them. And literally, I've rolled with the two best options, and I continue to have cutting out of the Wi-Fi. So my potential solution, and I don't know if it's going to even help, because I'm certainly going to try. I'm certainly going to try to see if it'll work, but I'm going to have two Wi-Fis. Smitty's going to have two Wi-Fis. I'm going to have two different Wi-Fis so I can jump on one if one's bad, but I don't know if that's going to help me during the middle of one of them being choppy. So the only thing I could say is if one's cutting out, I'll just jump to the other one. But we'll also try the new one out, the new service provider out, and see if it's better. And maybe we have no cutting in and out, and then we'll just stick with them. But hit the like button for Pretty Richie. This is why VoIP phone service sucks, says Chucky. Pretty Richie's a beast. What a beast. Michael KCPA. Can we get a round of applause again for Michael KCPA? Because, I mean, this guy was up there for a long time. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. What can I do for you?
Hello.
Yo.
Smitty.
Yeah, you're live on the show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, Smitty, this is Scott. Tyler.
Scott, what's up, buddy?
Look, man, I got a question for you, brother. Out of the 4 rookie running backs, Ken Walker, let's see, Rashad White, Tyler Algier, and Breece Hall. Can you put them in order on how you would draft them? I can't get all 4 of them.
You can't get all 4. Yeah, not many people can get all 4. So let me put them on screen. Can you read them off again?
Breece Hall, Rashad White, Tyler Algier, and Kenneth Walker.
I mean, it's pretty easy ranking for me. You probably should know. You probably should know my ranking on this by now, I'd imagine, based on the shows. But Hall, Walker, White, Algier. But I will say that I quietly like Walker the most, but I don't want anybody to draft him ahead of Hall. Like, there's a certain amount. I'm hearing a lot of echo. I don't know if you can turn down the show in the background.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
I'll turn it down. Sorry about that.
No problem. So
there you go.
I think when you're in a position to
draft.
draft.
Well, my question about it is Algier. I think he might have the fastest track to a starting running back.
He might, but it doesn't mean he's going to be the better option. But they're all, you can get these guys all at different stages. Like Hall and Walker, if you've got one pick, you're probably only going to get one of them, right? If you got one pick right where those guys are going. White's more of a late first rounder. Algier's more a top of the second. So they're very spread out. So it's not like you got to choose Algier over Hall or Walker or something. You'd be absolutely crazy to draft White or Algier anywhere near Hall and Walker because those ADPs aren't even close. But if you have the 1.1, my advice is to grab Breece Hall. If you've got the 1.2,
I'm talking about a redraft, Smitty.
In a redraft, well, still you're going to draft them in different spots. Like if you look at, let me show the board here. I don't know if
Walker's fallen really far in redraft on these other imbeciles, man.
I don't know if you're watching. Let me see if I can get this to focus.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay, so if you're drafting, here's round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, Algier's going, I imagine, somewhere in the 9 to 12 to even 15 range. Like, it just depends on how knowledgeable your league mates are and how much the buzz starts kicking in about them. But this is Algier range. Like, you might love them, you can grab them, but you need to grab them. I'd even say like 10 to 12 round range, 10 to 12 to 15, somewhere around there. Rashad White, I imagine, could go around this range, maybe in 9. So Rashad White, it just depends on his buzz and everything. But right now, you should have no problem getting him in Tony Pollard, Madison, handcuff running back area. Walker is going in this area here. And I don't find it a reach at all to grab him in 5, like at the end of 5, because I don't think the reaching is going to hurt you. We're talking about very minuscule movement of, okay, instead of taking Walker here, you're taking him here, you're taking a wide receiver here, and you might still find the same kind of value there or whatever. You know, get Mike Williams here instead of getting, Pittman here. Like, so it's worth it to me to take Kenny Walker at the end of 5 or at least at the top of 6. So Kenny Walker's going in this area right here. I know this is getting hard to view, but as you can see, there's not a lot of overlap. Just right here, there's a little overlap, but Breece Hall's going here. So everybody's compartmentalized in different parts of the draft, and I don't think you have to worry about. You could literally scoop up all of them, in a redraft, because Hall's going in 3 or 4.
Well, the only problem with that is some of the handcuffs that I want to steal.
Well,
I'm sniping people, man.
You can't have everything, pal. You can't have.
Yeah, I know.
I
know.
But Hall is somehow. I did a rant at the beginning of the show. Hall's somehow going here more often than not, but he's a steal here, and he belongs right here. Hall belongs right here, but do not take him there. He's going here.
Yeah.
So you can get all of them, bro. As you can see, look at this drawing. Look at this masterpiece. I should turn that into an NFT.
I got you, Smitty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate
Have
you.
a great Father's Day, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for calling in. Call in anytime. Call in more.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL.
Yeah, I mean, you could draft all of them. Hall is a steal. Breece Hall is an absolute steal. I almost feel like going back into rant mode because I feel like this particular video doesn't encompass enough of my argument of Breece Hall. I almost feel like I'm maybe getting a little upset
Smitty is approaching dangerous territory.
that Breece Hall isn't being taken seriously. I
Warning.
almost feel
Threshold unstable.
that we are looking at a potential
Alert. Maximum levels reached. Prepare for transformation. Alert. Maximum levels reached. Prepare for...
Okay, here we go. Last time we did this, it ended. All of you Breece Hall doubters out there, Breece Hall's worth, don't tell your mom, don't tell your grandma, don't tell anybody, because you want to steal him away. But he's worth a top 12 to 15 overall pick. I know you don't want to hear that. I know you think, Smitty, how could Breece Hall be worth a top 12 to 15 overall pick? But the same people that asked those questions asked us last year, how is Smitty, how is Najee Harris worth a top 10 to 14 overall pick? You missed on Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Smitty. You missed on Clyde. If Clyde can't do it, no one can do it. We need to relook at rookie running backs. No, we don't, Bob. Najee Harris was just fine. Breece Hall is Najee Harris. Najee Harris is Breece Hall. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. And Breece Hall is going to drop loads all over the field in 2022. Is there risk? Yes. Is there another running back? Michael Carter. Yes. Does it get factored in and baked into the value? Absolutely does. Michael Carter and all of the risk factors are why Breece Hall is now falling into round 4. But it should be round 3. But now it's round 4. In best ball, if you get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com, you click that underdog banner that's right in front of your face right there on thefantasyfootballshow.com. It is tied to promo code Smitty. And if you go to Underdog without going to thefantasyfootballshow.com and clicking on that banner that's linked to me, make sure you enter promo code Smitty when you get over there. Breece Hall is now falling into round 4 in best ball drafts. Breece Hall is now a league winner as much as Kenneth Walker is in round 6 or 7 on Underdog. And why do you draft in June? Why do you draft in May, Smitty? Because guys could get hurt. Smitty, players get hurt. Why would you want to draft early? Or let's say somebody goes down next week with an ACL tear. See, I told you, Smitty. Players get hurt, Smitty. Now do you feel differently? Now do you feel differently, Smitty, about drafting players early? Because see, I told you. You know, those people are so disappointed when they come to me and say, see, now how do you feel about drafting early? And my response is, I don't care. I still feel exactly the same. I felt this way for 20 years. You're not going to change my opinion on the matter, Bob. Because when you have an opportunity to get Kenneth Walker around 6-7, when you have an opportunity to get Breece Hall in round 3, maybe 4, when you can get DK Metcalf in round 4, Waddle in round 4, Burrow in round 5, Herbert in round 4. When you have the opportunity to get Swift, maybe round 2. Javonte round 2. You have league-winning potential at every turn. There is no better round to draft, better draft slot to draft in than 11 or 12, because you can get Swift, you can get Javonte, then you can get DK, then you can get Waddle, or you could go with maybe an Adams and a Javonte, an Adams and a Swift, an Adams and a Diggs, and then in the 3rd and 4th round, you take ETN and Hall and Walker later. Imagine going 0 running back through 3 rounds and getting ETN in 4, or Breece Hall in 4, and Walker in 5, and having those guys be your 2 running backs, or ETN in 3, Hall in 4, and Walker in 6 or 7 if you want to wait and he falls. Imagine going 0 RB, getting back-to-back wide receivers and having that kind of team. Imagine coming out of pick number 5 with Jamar Chase, getting Javonte in round 2, getting, even if you take Josh Allen, early quarterback, in round 3, you get Breece Hall in round 4, you get Kenny Walker round 6, you get Waddle potentially falling to 5. I can paint a picture all day long. And a lot of the teams that I'm giving you, the reason they are league winners is because of Hall and where Hall is falling, because of Walker and where you're gonna be able to land him. DK, Javonte, these are the names. These are the names of the players that are winning leagues everywhere you look. And I appreciate every single one of you, as I've got both my microphones side by side. When I switch, it will be seamless. So, now you know. Stormcat, appreciate you. Walker later is where the value is. Yeah, DG3, I mean, honestly, let me give you the honest truth, DG3. I'm not the guy to ask where to draft Walker because I can't contain myself. I grab him in the 6th round. I won't let him fall past round 6. I grab him late 5. But I really don't care, because the difference between that, like reaching for Javonte at number 5 overall is a huge miss because of the opportunity you have to draft him later. Reaching on Walker from 6 to 5 is a much smaller, significant hit in terms of what you could have got. Like, you're ruining your upside or your potential. I don't care. I'll take Walker in the 6th round all day long. I don't want to risk somebody else getting him in round 7. I don't want to risk it. I'm taking Walker in round 6 every time. But I don't want you guys to take Walker in 4 or early 5. It's late 5. It's 6. Anywhere in 6. Don't let him go to round 7. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Someone's going to get cute and snag him in round 7. Because they're going to listen to this show, or somebody else that might be talking him up. Don't get reckless or crazy. Draft him in round 6 without hesitation, without any kind of stutter step. Don't miss on drafting Kenny Walker. I got Walker at 13.8. That's ridiculous, bro. That's filthy. Reaching on bench players is always okay for me. Yeah, I mean, look. Reach for Madison a round. Not multiple rounds. Noah's ADP. And not to mention, it's the pre-rank list, guys. It's so important. Like, so many people don't understand this pre-rank list. Okay? If you're sitting there, here's your pre-rank list. Okay? Select player. And you're looking at all players, and Walker is literally down here. You can't even see him. You have to scroll to even see him, and you're on the clock right here. This is your pick. You can wait on Walker. He's not even in sight. But if you're sitting there and Walker is literally the 4th or 3rd RB, if you're looking at the RB drop down, or if you're looking at the all drop down, and he's like number 6 overall, and he's the third running back, number 6 overall, he's not going to be there if you're on the clock right now and you're going to pass on him. You've got to take him right there. It's really simple, and so many people don't use pre-rank lists to. King Richard, Pretty Richie. I kind of like King Richie. Pretty Richie. Are we sensing a name change to King Richie? The King Richie? I don't know. Maybe Pretty Richie is very special to you. We don't want to change your name if that's what you want. But everyone's saying King in here constantly, and King's got a nice little ring to it. Richie. Okay, 87. Richie, tell me who you want to take with this pick right here, and then we'll work out replacing your spot. Let's do your draft selection live on the show right now. So Richie, look at who's available. I'll tell you who's available, Richie. I'll do a screenshot and put it up on screen. Let's draft your selection live, pal. Richie, you deserve the spotlight right now. So Richie is going to draft live, if that's okay with you, Richie. This is going to be what draft slot is this? This is going to be draft slot called Hold 1. So you're taking that spot, Richie. Hold 1. Available to you, Mr. Richie, are the following players. I'm going to screenshot this and put it up on screen. These are all of the available players that you can draft from right now, Richie. I'm pretty sure I'm going to encompass most everybody that you would want to consider. I don't think I need to take a third screenshot. I'll take a third screenshot just in case. Why is DJ Chark so high? Okay, here we go, Richie. These are the players available to you to draft. I took 3 screenshots, and you can pick between these guys. So these are the available players to draft, Richie. You are on the clock right now. We'll get you taken. We'll have you take over the team after you're on the clock. Let's make your pick. You have, I have multiple of this one. Let's see, Keenan Allen. Oh, that's the one I need. So you have Chubb, you have Fournette, you have Mixon, you have Barkley, you have Monty, Kamara, Elliott, Aaron Jones, Swift, Debo, James Conner, CeeDee Lamb, Cam Akers, Tyreek Hill, Josh Jacobs, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Gibson, Javonte, Singletary. Where is he at, Richie? Hey, Richie, we're live. I'm not sure if you see my talking to you here on the live stream. We want you to draft live. I'll put all the players that are available on the screen, and let's have you pick live, and then we're going to have you take over your team after that, rather than do all the technical stuff. So, all right. I left him a little voice message on IG. Let's hope Richie checks it. I can see if he's seen it. Come on, Richie. Where are you at, Richie? How many copies of Javonte are left? I believe there's no copies. Oh, yeah, there are. Javonte's there in the middle group. Javonte, Keenan. Yeah, because we're in the first round still. I don't know how many copies are left, but until 8 copies are gone, Richie has his choice of every player that hasn't had 8 copies of that player gone. All right. Richie's here. Richie, you're on the clock. You're going to pick live through me on the show, and then we'll set you up after. Let's do this. Who are you taking, Richie? Who are you taking? Chubb, Fournette, Mixon, Barkley, Montgomery. I mean, let's get real. The options are not even Aaron Jones. Swift, Debo, Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Diggs, Javonte, Kelsey. I'm just giving you the options that are probably on the table for you in terms of what you're. I don't think anybody in drop down 3. Yeah. And just so you know, bro, your pick, you're gonna pick at this pick, and then you're gonna pick So your pick 87. 87 divided by 8 copies of every player is 10.8. So you're really at pick 10. So you're going to have essentially 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 6 players. So Richie, you'll be picking again. It'll be a while because of how many people are in the draft, but you're essentially picking this player and most likely another one of these top 6 players that you're going to have your eye on here. So you'll be able to most likely select 2 of everybody that you see here. I don't know how many copies. You'll have to kind of look at that on the draft board. But who are you taking here? Everybody's saying Swift, Mixon. What are you guys thinking? Who do you guys want King Pretty Richie to take? I can't wait to see what he says. Let me get Mixon. He said it. Mixon it is. Pretty Richie wants Mixon. I'm going to draft him for you right now. Draft. Team hold 1, which is going to turn into Pretty Richie. Pretty Richie's a beast. Pretty Richie's on the clock. He's going to take Mixon. Pretty Richie live on the Fantasy Football Show. YouTube live stream on Friday, June 17. Boom. Pretty Richie. And then Byron took Mixon right after you. Senior Hyphy's on the clock. David Carmichael, then Yorks, then Carlos, then Devin, then Danny, then Order 66, then Richard Watson. Richard Watson, if you're watching, contact me right now. Pretty Richie dropping straight fire live on the show. Congrats, my friend. You own Mixon. He's on your roster right now. I'm going to invite you right after the show because I don't want to delay the show. So he's yours, buddy. I'll add you, send you an email after the show. Appreciate you, Richard. Yeah, if you can get Swift too, Pretty Richie, that would be pretty dope. Diggs. I like it.
You know,
Richie's doing pretty good. Richie is balling. I took Najee with my pick. My pick was up high. I prefer this lower pick. I wanted 11 to 12. I wanted it. Swift on the turn. Batty. Yeah, that was an accident. I fixed it for him early on. It happened right away, and I fixed it right away. But I've had a few people want me to redo their picks, and I just can't do it. We can't do it. You guys got to pre-rank. It's an hour timer. I know the hour timer's short, but when you can pre-rank, Pretty Richie wants Swift. Well, you already picked Mixon, though. You mean for the next pick? That would be great, Richie. Richie, set your round 2 rankings. Well, he's not in yet. I gotta send him an invite. But yeah, I mean, Richie, you could. How many copies of Swift have gone? Because you should be able to give him with your next pick. You took Mixon already. I went off what you said. You said, let me get Mixon. We put him in. Let me see how many copies Only 2 copies of Swift have gone. Only 2 copies of Swift have gone. That means there's 6 more copies of Swift available. No copies of Javonte. Adams has gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 copies of Adams. Adams is off the table. No copies of Diggs yet. Jamar Chase is gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's gone for sure. McCaffrey is, I think McCaffrey's gone. Yeah. He wasn't on the drop down. The Cup League is going to be tough, says Fantasy Dog. Look, I have an announcement to make. I think this one's going to be cheaper. Like we've been doing. I don't want people to. Like, of course, I love that people. Oh, we're supposed to be on the call-ins.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL. Dong.
Call into the show. We're gonna do another league. This one's gonna be as follows. Okay, this new league, it's gonna be a cup version 2 league, but we may not call it that. Okay, we may not call it that, but it's gonna be a cup version 2 league. I put versus 2 version 2 league. And what it's going to entail is, I don't know if it's going to be a draft like this. If we're going to do 96 people, I don't even know how many people we're going to do in it, but if we're going to do 96 people, let's say, we have to do it on My Fantasy League. I know it's archaic, I know it's older, but it can handle and maintain this type of 8 copy of every player. But if we do another league, 8 copies of every player, it's going to be like this. No bench spots. That means that you literally have to cut somebody if they're hurt. You literally have to cut somebody if they're on a bye and you can't afford the bye. And the lineup requirements will be as follows. It'll be 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end. So the draft will only be 7 rounds. So that'll be a much more manageable thing to pull off if we, fill spots, quickly and get going. We're going to make it $10 super chatters get in. Not doing 20, we'll do 10. Anybody that drops a $10 super chat or more, it's a way of me creating something amazing. I don't have prizes yet for it, but we will certainly get them. But it's going to be 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end. And just anybody that drops a $10 super chat gets in. It's not an entry fee. There's not a pool of prize. I don't do things where I collect money and hand out money to people for a winner. I don't do those kind of leagues on the show. This is more of we're building the channel up. Everything you guys give is amazing, and I want to do something amazing back. I want to make an amazing league, amazing experience with awesome prizes. For the Cooper Cup League, we got the autographed Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Hall of Fame, red, full-size helmet. We've got the Trophy Smack, massive trophy. We've got the custom fantasy ring that looks a lot like this bad boy here. Is this mine? This is mine. This is like $150 to $300 prize right here. You get your name, the record, the year, or in our case, it'll be total points. Your name on it. This looks and feels like a real Super Bowl ring. Comes in an amazing box that your girl is going to think you're proposing when you pull it out. Absolutely phenomenal ring. Things like that we're going to have for this. But Fantasy Dog says make it best ball. I don't know if we can. Yeah, we might be able to, actually. We could do that. We could make it best ball instead. But no, the reason we're doing this, I could turn it into best ball without waivers. but it would be 7 rounds. We need to do it quick. We need to do a quick 7-round draft, not a 15-round draft with the 96 people involved or however many we end up getting. But 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a flex, and a tight end. Maybe I make it to where that's best ball and there's no ad drops. You pick who you pick. Hopefully they survive. Hopefully they don't get hurt. Kind of like last year's door league in a way, because you just picked in one of those leagues, you picked 3 players and that was it. But I think it'd be better to have waivers and have it active. So we'll see. But look for the announcement on that. Maybe we'll talk about that Monday, and we'll start taking, anybody that drops a 20 super chat, we'll get into that league. Cooper Cup version 2, or the no bench league, we might call it. That's coming Monday. Get ready for it. Brian Barnes says, "Is my pick gone already?" Brian Barnes. Let me see. No, Brian, you're going to be picking, I believe, last, man. You will be 96, I think it is. Sorry. I might have told you the wrong one last time. Yeah, I think you're picking 96. Because you're replacing someone we haven't heard from. I'm going to put you in right now. I'm going to send the invite to you right now. Let's see here. Give me till the end of the show, because it's going to take too long to do that, and I don't want to make people sit through that. But at the end of the show, I will send it out. You'll get an invite. Make sure you bookmark it, check your junk mail, and then get in there and pre-rank, or if you think you're going to be live when you're on the clock. But you'll be the last pick in the draft. You'll have back-to-back picks, bro. You're going to be the only person. Everybody else has to wait days to pick. You're literally going to get back-to-back draft selections. That's got to be fun. And it's the best draft slot. Like, it literally is the number 1 draft slot, in my opinion, in 2022. You get the 12 pick, the actual legit 12 pick in this 96 team league. So, congrats, Brian. I'd be excited if I was you. Back-to-back picks. Woo! Woo!
Woo!
Well, that's gonna probably do it for today. We did a number. We did a 2-hour show on top of what was the first one, like 20 minutes. It's like 2-hour and 20-minute show today. So we're live every Monday through Friday. Your boy Smitty is live 7 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. Join me Monday. We'll be kicking things off. But anytime there's breaking news, your boy Smitty goes live. If McLaurin signs an extension tonight, I will go live. If DK Metcalf gets traded or signs an extension, I go live. If another case breaks in the Deshaun Watson situation, or he's innocent on all counts, I go live. If he's suspended for the year, I go live. I want you to know, anytime anything breaks, I go live. I work for you. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com and get your lifetime membership. Get your text advice on the text line, one-on-one text advice, and reply, subscribe to the show, and like on your way out the door. But I reply to every comment, so drop a comment right. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Click on the underdog banner. Use promo code Smitty. Get into an underdog draft. These Best Ball Mania 3s are awesome. $2 million to first place, $1 million to second place. $1,000 goes to 470th place. Your mom can make a lot of meatloaf off of that kind of quiche. So go win that cash money. Help your mom out. Brian, I'm gonna be DMing you on Instagram right now in a second, okay, pal? Leave a comment after this video goes live on YouTube. Right now it's a live stream, but get on over to the comment section. Oh, we got a voicemail here. Oh, we already answered this one. This is that rookie question. Appreciate everybody. Leave a comment. I will get back to every single question that you drop once this video goes live. In the comments, start off on 0. Not in the live chat. In the comments, I will get back to everybody. Appreciate every single one of you. Peace out. Have a good night. Hopefully news breaks so I'm live later. You know, I sniff a live stream, an emergency live stream in the next 48 hours. There's something that's going to come down. I can feel it.